Thanks to the support as a channel member, Russ Eddy. Well, I'm getting a constant flow of job interviews now, and it was only going to be a matter of time. I've been offered a job. I haven't looked at the financial package. We'll look at that together. But first, my chairman wants to have a word. Hopefully to offer me more money. He might just be sending me packing. And this is the situation. So we've had multiple interviews. You can see we had an interview with Lincoln yesterday, 8:57 Wednesday morning. We had an interview with Lincoln and they are already offering me a job. But before then, my chairman wants to see me. I've also got Stockport and Forest Green coming in ready to offer me interviews as well. I had an interview with Tranmere. We saw like 3 or 4 interviews in the last episode as well. But I think we can click on these and not be tied into either of them. I kind of want to know how much money Lincoln are offering me and then how much money I'm being offered to stay, if anything. One thing I do know, or 2 things I know about Lincoln, they have got, in fact, if we just click on Lincoln, they're 16th in League One, so they're not in a relegation battle. Why are they managerless? We haven't looked at that. So the previous manager was sacked, which suggests they've got some pretty high expectations. They've also got over £1 million of a transfer budget and a wage budget of around £80,000 a week. So it's double the wage budget that I've got at Brackley currently, even though we've got a tycoon. When we were looking at this in the previous episode, the issue all the League Two clubs had is they were offering me less money than I'm currently paying out on salaries with Brackley. Lincoln is a genuine step up in terms of money for the club, but obviously they need to offer me a genuine step up of money as well. So I'm currently on £875 a week. Lincoln are offering me not a very big pay rise, but a big transfer budget, a big wage budget, and the chance to manage in League One. I think if Brackley offer me any kind of pay rise, I think I stay, because of the fact that we've got a tycoon and there's more potential upside going forward. Even though Lincoln have got a bigger fan base and all that kind of stuff, that is a bit of an insult. Let's see what these lot have got to say. So, Adam, how are you doing? I can't just withdraw from other jobs, but I'll attend the meeting. So if I refuse to attend the meeting, does he fire me? I'm going to attend the meeting. Hi, Adam. We'd appreciate if you were willing to reconsider joining another club and stay here instead. We'd be willing to discuss making it worth your while. Right. How are you going to make it worth my while? I'd be willing to stay if I was giving a new contract. Wage budget was more generous. See, I want some of this money we were promised. But really, I want a pay rise. Give me a new and improved contract. We'd be more than happy to investigate making that happen if that means retaining our services. Okay. So are you now going to offer me that? So I'm on 875 currently. Lincoln offering me 1.1k. I need to know how much Adam's offering me. Right, I'm going to delay Lincoln. We're going to delay Lincoln for a week. Stockport. I mean, we've got to do the interviews just to see what clubs have got to offer. Because if I am going to move, I want to move to the best possible club for us. Am I happy to work with that guy? Oh, yes. Goodness me. What's he doing at Stockport? Yes, I'll work with him. Really, I'm just interested in their budgets. Budgets are all I care about. See, no transfer budget. And massive wage budget, which is weird. I guess they are in League One. That's an even bigger wage budget than Lincoln. So I wouldn't be against that. And then Forest Green, who turned me down this time last year, are in for me again. They'd need to offer me an awful lot of money because they're down in League Two. This is far less appealing. But we'll race through the interview anyway. Jay Rice. Yeah, I don't mind working with him. He's got a moustache. That's always a positive. But what money have you got? Transfer budget is good. Wage budget is good. Yeah, okay. I can live with that. I need to see what Adam's offering me. He needs to get in. See, he's offering me £1,000 a week. Lincoln are offering 1.1. I know I'd be able to negotiate them up a little bit probably, but I can probably also do the same with Adam. I can get him up to on a 3-year deal as well. That's already a better contract than I was getting at Lincoln. It was 1.1 for 2 years. If I can get him up to 1.2, which I don't think I can. But it's the same money, Lincoln. I'm going to take it. It's the same money Lincoln were offering me, but an extra year with a tycoon. It's a big job to turn down, and I wouldn't normally. If it wasn't for the fact we've got the tycoon backing, I absolutely wouldn't accept it. But I think in the circumstances, we accept the new contract. I assume that withdraws me from the other jobs I'm in for, because of course the thing now of selling that, if Lincoln now come back in for me, I could try and push them up even further. But I have in the meantime signed a new contract with Brackley, so I think that means I'm withdrawn from all of these other jobs. I never applied for any of them, so I don't know how I would know. Yeah, it's a complicated one. I guess we'll wait and see on that front. In the meantime, I'll assume we're doing the original plan for today, which was Fleetwood in the FA Cup. But there might still be job twists and developments yet. Let me know in the comments if I made the right decision there. Would you have done the same thing? I think the whole having a tycoon thing is just very exciting, and I still want to see how it plays out. It's been less than a year. Love this little email I've had from Lincoln saying, oh, well, we didn't want you anyway. Yes, you did, Clive. Yes, you did, but you couldn't get me because you didn't offer me enough money. You tried to, I will let it drop eventually, but look at the amount of money the players are earning. And you're going to offer me just over £1,000. Come on now, Clive. That's why you did. That's why you missed out on me. And everything. You'd have been in the Premier League and under a Chapman regime. You blew it. Right, it is the replay against Fleetwood. Remember all that from the last episode? We are still in the FA Cup. This is the replay of the first round game. Brad Hills, who got sent off in the first match and led to us having to have a replay, is injured. So he's going to miss this game regardless. So Farquharson comes in at the back for him. Otherwise, it is our usual team. So Hollingshead at the back, in goal, sorry. Thomas, Smith, Farquharson and Camerson as the defence. Rodney and Easton midfield. Agbenone and Alpha Ruprecht out wide. Eonvian and Farmer up front. I am a little bit worried that we don't really have any strength in depth or any rotation players. If we do get 2, 3, 4 injuries at the same time, I think we're going to have a problem. Even though we've got all this money, we've very much spent heavy on 6 or 7 real stars who are too good for this league. The front four, the midfielder, the goalkeeper. These guys are earning big money and shouldn't be playing non-league football. But it does mean that we don't really have equivalent players to bring in for them. So if we were to lose a couple of the front four and Rodney all at the same time, we have a major issue on our hands. But luckily it hasn't happened yet. What has happened is Fleetwood have gone 1-0 up. I really would like to beat them, because if we beat them, we have a local derby against McDongs in the next round of the FA Cup, which is a double dose of delicious, because it gives us the opportunity to beat McDongs, which is always a nice opportunity to have, but also potentially allows us to set ourselves up for that big money third round tie that we always need. My buddy Adam has just invested another £350,000 into the running of the club. About time he started putting his hand in his pocket. We're still overdrawn. And we still haven't been given any extra transfer budget or wage budget, but I've had a pay rise and the bank balance is looking a little healthier now. So I guess tycoons are still tycooning. That is the main reason I've stuck around. After all, we need to see a little bit more of that happening, hopefully soon. But we shall see. Farmer lunging in there, but gets away with it. And now Farmer picks it up deep and shoots from range, but unfortunately it's straight into the hands of the Fleetwood keeper. We need to be creating a lot more in the second half. We controlled the game in the first leg, or first match before the replay, and only got brought to a replay because we went down to 10 men and didn't really know how to defend with 10 men because we're such an attacking team. But we've come to Fleetwood and we're now 2-0 down before half time. And that's a long way from ideal. We've got a lot to do in this second half. This is just with one player missing. We've missing a defender, and all of a sudden we can't defend because we don't have that strength in depth. Right, Camerson on the right-hand side gives the ball away, and now we are under pressure because Fleetwood are surging forward and we don't really have anyone back to cover. East misses out on the header there, and Fleetwood charging through us again. If they score again here, we're done. And that would be a very disappointing way to exit the FA Cup, not least because we need a cup run, but we're just not performing. So I'm going to demand more Come on, boys, do something. Oh, we're done. Oh, I should have gone to Lincoln. That's going to be the motto of the series now. Should have gone to Lincoln. Said nobody ever. I don't want to see the replay. What I do want to do is see us actually do something not rubbish in this rest of this second half. Create something. Let's have some chances. Let's at least score a goal or two. That's what we're supposed to be good at. Right, Eonvian running at the Fleetwood defence. Shoots from range when he had 3 players ahead of him. I don't know what he's thinking. Silly, silly boys. Right, we're always good at corners. East, looking for the far post. Eonvian's there, can't keep his header down. And, yeah, do we berate? It's a little bit harsh to berate when Fleetwood are they a League 1 or League 2 team? I forget now. Either way, they're a Football League team. We are supposed to lose against them, I guess. But like we said in the last episode, we're probably spending more than they are on players. So actually, we probably shouldn't be losing to them. We certainly shouldn't be getting thumped 3-0. That's for sure. This is not ideal. First big match of my new 4-figure weekly wage era. I'm loving all the money, but I would also like a cup run, please. I should have asked Adam that when he asked me what I wanted to stay. I should have said, can I have a cup run, please? Can you arrange that for me? I really wanted to click multiple options. I want a pay rise, and this is what I would have done in real life. I'd like a pay rise. I'd also like that £350,000 wage transfer budget you promised me in the summer. Oh, why hasn't Eonvian got onto that? Luckily, Alpha Ruprecht does, and we've got a goal back. Half an hour to go. We've given ourselves a chance, but Big Brackley had a tap in, and I don't know why he's just let it run past him. Luckily, Alpha Ruprecht saves his blushes. Let's look at it from the other angle, then I'll get back onto my imaginary conversation with Adam. So Farmer does really well, just slides it across goal. Bradley can't get onto it, but Alpha Ruprecht with the deflection does find the back of the net. Let's demand more again. And yeah, I would like my 350 grand you promised me when you arrived. I'd also like a little bit of that £22 million transfer budget the media told me I was going to get when you were first linked, Adam. And can I have the current wage spend? Can I just have that covered by budget as well? There's so many things that I want to ask him for. I feel like one wish wasn't enough wishes in the circumstances. Right, we'll bring Shipley on. Shipley's been asking for game time. Come on, boys. Do something. Somebody do something. We need a goal. Do we get Marsh on? I mean, if we don't get Marsh on in a situation like this, why are we paying him all that money? In fact, we've got Aguier, who can come on for Big Bradley. And I'm going to bring Marsh on for him. And I'm going to stick Farmer out wide. And get Marsh and Aguier in the middle. Which is bonkers, really. But Farmer did quite well out wide towards the end of last season when Eonvian first arrived. So let's see if he can do something out there again today. We've had a good second half, but we lost this in the first half. We were rubbish. And our FA Cup run is over for another year. So I am going to get through a bunch of matches now. And it's going to be a weird, elongated episode because I'm going to play maybe 4 or 5 league games and then we'll come back for the next big league match, wherever that ends up being. It's certainly not Cambridge. They're going to get relegated this year. But the next time we play like a top 6 team, I'll show you that. Aldershot up there? No. I'll figure it out. There's a possibility I've talked the game into this. Eonvian's injured. Hollingshead is injured. Hills has only just come back from injury and has missed the last couple of games. Smith is suspended. And as a result of all of that, we're having a little bit of a wobble. We've been knocked out of the FA Trophy, so it's just National League now for the rest of the season. That's all we can focus on. And we've had a draw and a defeat in our last 2 games in the league. So the league table now looks like this. We're 10 points behind Fylde, albeit with a game in hand, and we play Rochdale now. And we've got to beat them. If we beat them, we go back up to 2nd place, and we're definitely in the title race at the halfway point of the season. If we lose this, we're probably going to be looking at playoffs, and we don't need to talk about my playoff record, Brackley's playoff record, not relevant. So today we're going with Collins in goal, a back four of Thomas, Hills, Farquharson and Camerson, Rodney and East in midfield, Agbenone on the left, Alpha Ruprecht on the right, and then Farmer and Marsh together up front in the absence of Eonvian. We did try playing Aguier there with Farmer and he just didn't look very good at all. So we're going with the 2 very similar, smaller, quicker strikers who, against the right kind of defenders, can probably absolutely rip them apart. If we've got big lazy lumps playing for Rochdale, we could get 5 or 6 today. Whereas if they've got any kind of pace about them, there's the alternative where they just muscle our 2 little strikers out of the match, and we just don't really get any chances, and we really, really struggle. And with a backup keeper in and a makeshift defence, it might not be our day, especially with us hitting a poor run of form. But here's Alpha Ruprecht trying to get a counter-attack going for us down the left-hand side. A rare trip to the left-hand side for him. Lays it off to East. East plays it into the area looking for Marsh, but can't find him. Does win a corner, though. And I think today's a day where we could really use capitalising on set pieces with that lack of physicality in the front too. Use the physicality from the big boys when we send them forward from the back. Although we know with Hills, he's only 5'10". He's not a big boy either, although he is a threat from these corners. East with another in-swinging corner. This time going to the far post where Farquharson gets a head on it, but just kind of lets it brush off him and wins the free kick ultimately, but it wasn't particularly threatening, and the free kick I guess wasn't threatening at all because it wasn't in the highlight. Ball over the top looking for Farmer. It's the right pass to play with these 2 strikers in the team today. Camerson plays it back to Rodney, who shoots from range, and it's pushed around the post by the Rochdale keeper, and we've got another opportunity from a corner, this time from the left-hand side where Alpha Ruprecht is going to look to hit the in-swinger, aiming for the near post, looking for Hills, can't find him, and it comes to East. And now Farmer on the edge of the area delivers it to Farquharson, who puts the cross into Marsh. You'd really want that the other way around. Farquharson, the big defender, and Marsh, the little striker. Sometimes, I don't like to go on about it, but sometimes I do have to question the footballing intelligence of some of these boys. Goodness me, right, we've now got a corner to defend. It's floated in, and Rodney, I think, gets a head onto that, and then Farmer pushes it a little bit further away, but it's still not properly clear. And Rochdale, with the shot, I mean, they should have scored there. Point-blank range, I don't think it's even been saved. It was just a wild effort that went over the crossbar, and now we've got a corner of our own. It's all set pieces today. Alpha Ruprecht can't beat the first man again. That's a couple of corners he's hit that haven't been great, but Agbenone going to try and have a shot of his own, but it's just straight into the hands of the Rochdale keeper, and frustration continues as we just don't look the same team without Eonvion in the side. I mean, I guess an argument, there's probably a fairly strong argument there for this could have been a day to switch back to the 4-3-3 that we used last season. We've still got Devaney and Knight at the club who could slot straight back into that midfield, start playing with the Mazzala again. We know what a threat Knight can be coming out of the midfield, rather than playing 2 such similar strikers and hoping they somehow find a way to complement each other. And I'm now looking at my bench. We have got Devaney down there. Knight's not on the bench though. So we'll just have to hope that my boys score goals. Owen Farmer, 21 for the season. The man is a goal machine. We certainly don't need to be doubting him. All the doubt is on Marsh and whether or not he can play with Farmer, because if he can't play with Farmer, there's no point keeping him at the club because he's never going to get in the team ahead of Farmer. It was the flick on from Marsh that led to Farmer being through on goal. So I guess that's good. I mean, it's not necessarily a part of Marsh's game that we expect to see, but it worked there. And this time he's dropped deep again to play it forward to Farmer. And now Agbenone on the left. Thomas with the ball over the top, looking for the run of Marsh. But it's dealt with pretty comfortably again by these big lumps at the back who are just physically dominating our 2 boys up top. Luckily, Farmer only needs half a chance to grab himself a goal, but Marsh is struggling a little bit, although he's on a 7.1, so I guess that's because he got the assist, so he automatically gets some bonus points for having an assist. But what I'm seeing, he is kind of being dealt with relatively easily by the Rochdale defence currently. But you know what? We're winning, and winning is important. Chester and Fylde are playing. Chester are playing. Are Fylde playing too? Fylde are losing away against Sutton at the moment, and that is potentially hugely significant, because that, if everything stays as it is right now, we are injected right back in to a title race, because we start closing down the gap and Fylde lose some points. Agbenone hits the crossbar. Oh, that would have been very handy just on the stroke of half time if that could have just bounced back to one of the onrushing strikers or bounced down over the line. That would have given us a nice little cushion. But yeah, Fylde losing is pretty major for us. Chester are winning, which means we won't actually go up to second place today with a win. But we'll be still only 7 points behind Fylde with a game in hand. And of course, we still have to play him in the second half of the season as well. That then becomes a gap that is closable. Right, East in midfield takes quite a heavy touch and then gives the ball away to Rodney. I mean, that's poor. He's supposed to be our playmaker, and he has put us in an enormous amount of trouble with a couple of poor touches there, but then intercepts and starts the recovery for us. So I forgive him. Marsh dropping wide. Lovely pass from Marsh for the run of Farmer. They've combined again. Surely Farmer scores. I don't know what's happened there. Owen Farmer scores that 99 times out of 100. And somehow it doesn't even force a save out of the goalkeeper. We've got another corner. It's been so many corners today, and none of them seem that threatening. I don't know why we're having to see them all. You get some games where every corner you see is a good chance, but you only see 3. We've seen like 6 corners and they've all been rubbish. Just stop showing them. I don't need to see them. I don't mind if we don't get any highlights. Don't keep showing me corners where we don't beat the first man. It's misery inducing. The set piece coach can deal with that. It's none of my concern. Marsh has done well again there. And actually, I was a little harsh on him in the first half. He's playing quite well. He's adapting and playing as the support striker, even though I've not told him to. And now Farmer plays it into Marsh. Marsh one-on-one with the keeper and grabs the goal. They've combined again. They can play together. This is what we were hoping for. And this is a little message to Big Brackley that he's not necessarily nailed on forever, because Marsh is lively and dangerous and is a good finisher. We've got several good strikers at this football club. And we seem to be doing okay, even in the absence of the highest paid one of all of them. In fact, I don't even know that's true. I think Farmer might be on more than Eonvian. What on earth has that been given for? I have no idea why Rochdale have got a penalty, but it's now 2-1. It's an almost immediate reply. I didn't even see what happened. I mean, you lot will probably tell me in the comments what happened there. I have absolutely no idea. But Rochdale, right back in it. Fylde have turned things around against Sutton as well. They're now 10 points clear of us again. And the day's all of a sudden not looking quite so rosy as it was before. Adams is going to come on. We're going to bring on Devenny in midfield, who has learnt to play as a defensive midfielder now. So expect to see a little bit more of Devenny in the second half of the season. Now he's learnt to play his new role. We can actually start using him again. And it's both him and Knight now able to play defensive midfielder. Means we've got a little bit more rotation option in there. Alpha Ruprecht is going to come off. Cabia coming on the right-hand side. We could do with a third here just to put the game beyond doubt. And we have yet another corner. It's going to be Cabia to take this one. And again, we don't beat the first man. Why are we seeing these? Are we on extended highlights accidentally? No, I don't know why we're seeing all these rubbish corners. The game's trying to balance out all the corners we watched during the network game. And making me suffer by seeing so many rubbish corners when we saw corners were as good as penalties in the network game. If you haven't seen the network game yet, you should go and watch it. It was a lovely series and we were quite good at corners in it. Spoilers, but we were quite good at corners. Right, Devenny doing well to win the ball back there, but immediately giving it away again. Stupid FM24 things. And Rochdale with the chance for the equaliser in the last minute, and that's a kick in the nuts. When you're struggling for form, you're struggling for form. I still have no idea what they want a penalty for, but via a penalty that I don't understand and a 92nd minute sloppy equaliser, we've dropped 2 points here that we absolutely shouldn't have dropped. They were our 3 points. Everything was looking so pleasant at half time in these matches, and now we're potentially 12 points behind Fylde, which is a long way from ideal. Have we got a last minute winner? A little bit of last minute chaos. Camerson crosses over looking for Marsh. He can't win the header. This is where we needed Eonvian on the pitch. Camerson again to Devenny. We haven't got time to knock it about. Oh, go on, Bennett. Just get it into the penalty area. We've got finishers in there. Devenny turns, plays it into Marsh. Marsh trying to go past his defender. He does. Plays it into Farmer. And he's hit the post now. Farmer's had some chances today. It's back with Camerson, who plays it across to Thomas, who's got acres of space. Adams is there. And Adams scores. It was a 92nd minute equaliser, a 93rd minute winner. Oh, goodness me, Football Manager. You are going to give me a heart attack with the amount of stress you put me under. This is ridiculous. But this is, I mean, we were piling on the pressure. And in the end, it's a pretty clean finish from Adams. And a well-deserved 3 points in the circumstances, but I think filed one as well. So we don't feel the benefit. It's like wearing your coat indoors. We haven't really felt the benefit, but at least we've not fallen even further behind. We do still have a game in hand. Obviously, we do still have to play filed as well. We just have to hope they hit a sticky patch at some point, and we just have to keep winning. So I guess we're going to try to keep winning. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.